Have you ever stumbled across a theory that just sounds so wild you're not even sure what to think?
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, sometimes you just gotta stop and be like, "Wait, is this real life?"
Right, is this actually a thing?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt when I first heard about this Dr. Masaru Emoto and his whole theory about water.
Yeah, his work definitely pushes the boundaries of what we usually think of as
It
science.
does. It's like something out of a sci-fi book or something. But we're going to dive into it today because it's just too interesting to ignore.
For sure. It's definitely a topic that sparks curiosity, even if you're a bit skeptical at first.
Totally. So for this deep dive, we're looking at an apresentação da teoria do Dr. Masaru Emoto. So basically a presentation of his theory. And our mission today is to break it down.
Yeah, let's figure out what he was actually proposing and what his experiments were all about.
Exactly. We'll stick to the info in this presentation and see what we can make of it.
Sounds good. So where do we even begin with this? Like, what's the core idea that Dr. Emoto was putting forward?
Okay, so basically Emoto was saying that water isn't just, plain old H2O.
He wasn't just talking about the chemical compound, right?
Right. He believed that water could actually sense and respond to human thoughts and emotions.
Wow, okay. That's a pretty big claim right
It
there.
is. It's like saying water has a memory or something, and it can be influenced by our intentions.
Which is pretty different from how we usually think about water.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And to test this idea, he did these experiments where he exposed water to all sorts of different stimuli.
Like what kind of stimuli?
Well, the presentation mentions things like written words, for example. He would attach labels to containers of water with words like gratidão or odio.
So like positive versus negative words.
Yeah, and it wasn't just words, he used music too, like classical music versus heavy metal.
Interesting. So he was testing different kinds of energy or vibrations.
Right, and he even tested things like the effect of prayer or just leaving the water in silence.
Wow. So a pretty wide range of influences.
Yeah, and the way he measured the water's response was really interesting too.
I'm guessing it wasn't just like a chemical analysis or something.
Nope. He would freeze the water samples after exposing them to the different stimuli,
Okay.
and then he would photograph the ice crystals that formed.
That's where those famous pictures come from, right?
Exactly. He looked at the structure of the crystals under a microscope, and he claimed that the crystals formed differently, depending on the kind of energy the water had been exposed to.
So what did he find? Like, what did the crystals look like?
Well, according to the presentation, when water was exposed to positive words or harmonious music, the crystals were like these beautiful symmetrical shades.
They were aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. The presentation even uses words like deslumbrance and obras de arte naturales to describe them.
So like natural works of art.
Exactly.
Mm.
But when the water was exposed to negative words or chaotic sounds, the crystals looked totally different.
How so?
They were distorted and fragmented, like unrecognizable, according to the presentation.
So there was a clear visual difference between the crystals formed from positive versus negative influences.
Yeah, and Iamoto used this as evidence to support his theory that the energy of our thoughts and emotions can actually shape the molecular structure of water.
Which is a pretty bold statement.
It is, and it's definitely something that's been debated in the scientific community.
For sure. But even if we put the scientific debate aside for a moment, it's interesting to think about the implications of this theory.
Totally.
Like, why should we even care about this?
Right. What does it mean for us?
Well, the presentation brings up a good point. It reminds us that water is everywhere. It makes up like 70% of the Earth's surface and about 60 to 70% of our own bodies.
So it's a fundamental part of our existence.
Exactly. So if water can really be affected by our thoughts and emotions, then that could have huge implications for our health and the health of the planet.
Right. It makes you wonder if our negative thoughts and emotions could actually be harming ourselves and the environment.
And the opposite could be true too. Like maybe our positive intentions could be creating beauty and harmony, not just in ourselves, but also in the world around us. It's a really intriguing idea. And it kind of ties into the whole idea of mindfulness.
Yeah, being aware of our thoughts and emotions and the energy we're putting out there.
And the presentation highlights that even though the scientific community might still be debating Emoto's methods, his message resonates with a lot of people in different fields.
It does.
Yeah.
You see it in spirituality, ecology, personal development, all sorts of areas.
Which suggests that there's something about this idea that speaks to us on a deeper level.
It's like we intuitively sense that we're connected to everything around us, including the water we drink.
And that our thoughts and intentions might have a greater impact than we realize.
Right. And
Yeah.
the presentation leaves us with this really thought-provoking question.
What's that?
What if every kind word Every gesture of gratitude, every positive thought we have could actually be transforming the world even in ways we can't see.
It's a beautiful idea. It's like saying that our thoughts and intentions have the power to create positive change.
And it's not just some abstract concept.
Mhm.
The presentation encourages us to think about this in very practical terms.
How so?
It suggests that we try to be mindful of the water we drink. Like maybe take a moment to express gratitude before we drink it.
Almost like setting a positive intention to the water.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe it could make a difference. Maybe it could contribute to creating something beautiful within ourselves and in the world.
It's worth a shot, right? It's a simple act that could potentially have a ripple effect.
Exactly. And I love how the presentation ends with this quote from Dr. Emoto himself.
Oh, what's the quote?
He says, Agua es vida y a vida es agua. Que podamos honorar esa conexión sagrada con gratitud, amor y respeto.
So, water is life, and life is water. May we honor this sacred connection with gratitude, love, and respect.
It's like a reminder to appreciate the importance of water and to approach it with reverence and positive energy.
It's a beautiful sentiment, and it kind of sums up the whole idea behind Emoto's work.
It does. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one last thought.
What's that?
If our intentions can really influence something as seemingly simple as water, what other possibilities might be out there?
Right, like what other aspects of our lives and the world around us could be influenced by our thoughts and feelings in ways we don't yet fully understand?
It's something to ponder. It's a
Well,
whole new way of looking at the world and our place in it.
food for thought for sure.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Dr. Masaru Emoto.
It's been a fascinating journey.
Until next time, keep those positive vibes flowing.